Now we're getting to the part where we're representing our graphs with what's called a matrix. And a matrix is very much, if you think of it, almost like a spreadsheet, but it's in brackets. So here on the side, these are called our rows. And then coming down here are our columns, just like you have in a spreadsheet. You have rows and columns. Now, in an adjacency matrix, that's what this label is. That A stands for adjacency. When we have numbers of rows and columns that are the same, it's called a square matrix. So all of our adjacency matrix are going to be square matrices. Okay, so just so that we can kind of get a feel for how to interpret this, what is the entry in row 2, column 3? And we'll need this later when we look at 2 and 3 walks. So row 2, column 3. So row 2 is right here. Okay, so row 2, I'm looking for row 2, and then I want column 3. And there's only one number that intersects both of them, and that's the number 5. And then what is the second column of A? Go ahead and pause this video and see if you can determine what that column is. Okay, here we go. This is our column, so 0, -1, and 2. 0, -1, and 2. And then it says, what is the entry in row 3, column 1? Again, pause this video, see if you can go ahead and determine what that is, and then we'll come back together. All right, row 3 is right here. Column 1 is right here. So where the two of those intersect is -2. So that's how we interpret a matrix. Well, now we're going to look at a thing called, let's see here, Mike is making a garden with areas of specific plants. So we've got roses, lilies, daisies, and poppies. The paths he make are displayed in the following graph. So we have a graph of that. How many ways are there to walk from the rose section to the lily section of the garden using exactly one path? We're really looking at one edge. I'm not sure I like the idea of a path there. Oops. How many are there ways to walk from rose to lily? Well, let's go ahead and look at that connection, right? So from rose to lily, let me get that L a little bit better here. So from rose to lily, I can go from here down this first one, so that's 1. I can go here down the middle one, that's 2, and then I can go down here, the back one, and that's 3. So there's 3 ways to get from rose to lily. The second question, so this is part A. The next question says, how many ways are there to walk from each section to each other section of the graph on a walk using one path or one edge? So we already have rose and lily. We need rose and poppy. We need rose and daisy. We need poppy and lily and poppy and daisy. And then we need poppy and, not poppy. We need lily and daisy. So lily and daisy. Okay, so those are the 6 that we're going to look for. We already did rose to lily. So we're going to go ahead and put a 3 there. We need to determine what the other ones are. We'll do R and P together. And then the rest of them, I want you to pause the video and see if you can determine what those answers are. So from R to P, there's only one edge that gets me there. Now I could take something that's more than one, but on this case, I'm just looking at a single edge to get me from one to the other. So that's actually going to be 1. All right, go ahead and pause that video. See if you can get it done yourself. Now that we're back, let's take a look. So to get from rose to daisy, there's only one path there. So from here to here. So we're going to put a 1 there. Excuse me. From poppy to lily, we only have one path right there. So that's also going to be a 1. From poppy to daisy, to Daisy, we've got this little one right here that takes us all the way across. And so that's only one path. And then from Lily to Daisy, we can take this path over here, and then we can also take this path over here. So we actually have two paths that we can take from Lily to Daisy. So hopefully your answers were right in line with these. All right, so let's go ahead and look at this next one. It says, suppose you decide to go a long walk following two paths in the garden, starting at the rose section and ending at the daisy section. All right, I'm going to bring this graph down here, so give me just a second to get a picture of it. And then I'm going to pull that in for us to look at. Okay, let's get that graph in here. Let's get that right over here. All right. So here's our graph. Suppose you decide to go for a long walk following two paths in the garden, starting at the rose section and ending at the daisy section. So here we're starting at rose and we're ending at daisy. Now this is going to be a little bit more complex because we have several ways to do it, right? So we could take our rose and take this top path and then over to the right. That's one. We could take the top path and go over to the left. That's two. We could take our middle path and go to the right. That would be three. The middle path over to the left. That would be four. The back path and the right would be five. The back path and then the left would be six. And then there's one more. I could go from rose to poppy and then poppy all the way over to daisy. So I have a total of 7. So to get from R to D, I have 7 pathways that I can take. So this gets to be a little bit more complex as we go. So find the number of different ways to walk along 2 paths and end at the other section, including coming back to the sections you started. All right, so we got a couple extras here. We can go from rose to rose, and we can go from daisy to daisy because those both have multiple paths going somewhere else and then coming back. And then everything else is going to be like what we had before. So we're going to have rose to lily. We're going to have rose to poppy. We're going to have rose to daisy. We're going to have poppy to lily, poppy to daisy, and lily to daisy. Okay, so we did that first one together. Let's do the doubles here. So to get from rose to rose, I can go down the top and up the middle. That's 1. I can go down the top and up the back. That's 2. I can go down the middle and up the front. That's 3. I can go down the middle and up the back. That's 4. I can go down the back and up the front. That's 5. I can go down the back and up the middle, and that's 6. So I have 6 ways to get from rose to rose. Now I can look at daisy to daisy. So to get from daisy to daisy, I can go down this way and then come back up this way. So that's one way. Or I could reverse it and I could go down this one and come back up this one. So that would be 2 options for daisy to daisy. So I want you to go ahead and see how many ways that we can do the other ones and pause this video. We'll come back and take a look. All right, let's look at R to L. There's several ways to do that. We can go from R to D to L on the right. We can go from R to D to L on the left. That's 2. We can go R to P to L. It looks like that's 3. That may be the only number we can do. So that'd be 3 for that one. R to P. R to P, we could go down this first one and then over. We can go down the second one and over, down the third one and over. So that's 3. We could go over here and then come around there. That would be 4. Rose to Poppy. I think 4 is what we've got. Yeah. Oops. 4 is our number. And then Rose to Daisy. Rose to Daisy. I could go down. Oh, we already did that. We have 7 there, right? We already did that path up here. Poppy to Lily. Poppy to Lily. So Poppy to Lily, I could come around here and then go down the one side. I could go around and come down the second side. So that's 2. I could go up and down one side, down another side, down another side. So that would be 3 more. So I have 5. That will get me from Poppy to Lily. And then Poppy to Daisy. I've got 1, 2 that way. So that's 1 path. I've got 1 that way. And I've got 1 that way. So Poppy to Daisy would be 1, 2, 3. And then L to D, Lily to Daisy. I could go up here and then over, that's 1. Here over, that's 2. Here over, that's 3. And then over to Poppy and then up to Daisy, that would be 4. So I have 4 ways to do that one. So that should be our number of ways that we can do a second walk. And this gets to be a little bit time consuming. So here's that first page of your notes.